Today, I want to share a data science idea for Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness should have an API. In theory, they're a gym business. Actually, in reality, they make the majority of their money by franchise royalties and selling equipment to franchisees. I think they should have the new revenue stream, api.planetfitness.com. Let me walk you through what that would look like and how I got there. For a little bit of macro context, as we know, the gym industry got crushed during COVID. About 25%, according to the main industry trade group, 25% of gyms closed during COVID. Planet Fitness closed 0 locations. And in fact, they've been growing. Q4 was a monster quarter for them. Their net member growth, they're now up to 17 million members. And they were able to get there, by the way, they do 60 or 70% of their business in Q1. So who knows what this quarter is going to look like if those trends continue. This may be a really interesting couple of months for them. And as part of their big initiative, they have a bricks with clicks campaign that I'm going to talk about in a second. But they're trying to get to, the big goal is get to 4,000 locations. 4,000 locations across US and Canada, as well as Mexico, a little bit in Panama. But the 4,000 locations, and they're at 2,500 right now. And the way they do that is they have 90% of these locations are owned by franchisees, 10% corporate, 90% franchisees. They need lots of members, new members coming in, and they make their money by having the franchisee open up the gym. They pay them for the equipment, and they collect the royalties. Good business. So here's where I think the opportunity is. Right now, with those 17 million members, 60% of them are using a relatively new but successful mobile app that Planet Fitness Corporate launched. Planet Fitness has about, 300 corporate employees, and they've done a really good job of using third parties for all of their different systems, whether that's store management, membership, payments, the franchisee management platforms. All of these digital platforms are through third parties. They've started to build an internal platform to consolidate a lot of this, or at least to collect the data, and then they've shared back to members, the actual people going to Planet Fitness, a mobile app. And it has about 60% penetration right now, and it's growing. Here's the really interesting thing. If you look at their fastest growing customer segment, it's Gen Z. They actually make up, as well as being their fastest growing, they're their largest. 10% of their member base are Gen Z. And there's still like 6 years of Gen Z that isn't even old enough to join a Planet Fitness. We know Gen Z's on their phones. I mean, the millennials were on our phones a lot too, but they're really on their phones. So this creates a really interesting set of data that's available. You have all of the information from your payment systems, your membership systems, people coming in and out of the gyms. You combine that with some of the tracking and the things that's available within privacy laws and reason from the mobile experience and the sorts of promotions they can run. For example, in 3 months, they sold $1 million worth of Crocs through one of their mobile promotions last year. But we can start to combine that data. Now it becomes a valuable asset. And I think the first customer for this data would be the franchise owners themselves. If I had relevant information about what my customers were doing or what customers were doing in other locations, this is all being shared back today, I'm sure, through the franchise management platform. But if opened up as an API, it would enable more hyper-local experiences. Now I can target specifically my people with push notifications through the app for things that are targeted to my area because I know the gyms that I control. I think it's called National Fitness Realty in my area, which owns the Planet Fitness in my area, owns like 120 locations. They're one of the bigger franchise operators. They could be somebody interested in trying something like this out, or I'd be curious to know their opinion. But more broadly, basically once they work through some of their franchise owners, the rest of the community, the rest of the business community, I suspect would be very interested in the fitness and health related comings and goings of 17 million Planet Fitness members. And if you think about Planet Fitness as a business, and right now it's 70% of the revenue comes from franchise royalty and from selling equipment to franchisees, the remaining from their corporate owned stores. Should there not be a revenue segment, dare I say even a transformation? This is a workout as a service business, or the potential for health as a service. They're already combining mental health with meditation spaces. The Gen Zs love that, into their facilities as it is. You now have all this rich data. This could be the outcome that you're offering to customers through the vehicle of a gym, through the vehicle of the mobile experience, through the vehicle of all of the other ancillary products and services that can be marketed to serve this group. I know those are broad brushes, and I hate to get that high level, but from the data side is like, this would be potentially a tremendous data integration challenge, but they've already started with their internal platform. Be very curious to see how much progress they've made and what sorts of analytical questions and then predictive and prescriptive questions we could answer.